Hello, it's the Sensor Gambino here with a new stream, and this stream will be starting the Grand Theft Auto 3 walkthrough series for Grand Theft Auto 3, the Definitive Edition. And starting off, I did not like that Rockstar North thing on there. And what I mean with that is, for those who do not know, Rockstar North was actually previously known as DMA Design back when Grand Theft Auto 3 was first a thing. I think Vice City and onwards used Rockstar North, but in this game actually had DMA Design when it was first released and whatnot. That's why I made a little side comment here about Rockstar North there. I'll talk more later, by the way. I'm definitely pretty sure the title should be updated. Because the way I did the stream was that I had to make the title kind of and then start at the beginning so I could show off this intro as far as I know. So I also want to show you iconic music and stuff. Should be Warriors soon, yep. But yeah, Grand Theft Auto 3 Definitive Edition, Rockstar North. Not DMA Design, unfortunately, Rockstar Games and then Grove Street Games. But yeah, DMA Design basically turned Rockstar North, so that's why it's a Rockstar North this time around. And yeah, Grove Street Games, for those who do not know, Grove Street Games was actually previously a War Drum studio. And for those who did not know, they were actually the ones that created the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 versions of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. And I think they're involved with a lot of the different mobile projects that they've done for Rockstar in the past. I think they do Bully Anniversary Edition. I think they did the original trilogy on mobile. And they might have done even Max Payne and whatnot on mobile as well. So yeah, they're involved with a lot of the mobile stuff. So if there's a lot of similarities, that's why, is because they're involved with the mobile projects. So yeah. And for those who know about the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 versions of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, those versions are pretty infamous for being full of bugs and glitches. They freeze and crash constantly for those versions of San Andreas. They never even really bothered to fix that version, unfortunately, of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. So I'm hoping this one's at least better. Yeah, probably still the original, almost definitely still be better, so. But I was thinking if this is definitely going to be the best version, it probably wouldn't be. Graphically, obviously, yes, it's going to be a better version. But yeah, in terms of, in general, I would probably say the original is probably still going to be better. And by the way, just because I'm playing this version, the Definitive Edition versions first, does not mean I don't feel like I'll not be replaying the original versions. And maybe one day I'll play the original versions as well. But obviously, these are the new, hot editions. They officially came out today. I didn't want to risk going before the, 7 o'clock a.m. Pacific Standard, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I didn't want to, risk doing stuff before. I know, a lot of huge YouTubers and stuff are doing that, but I wanted to wait until past the embargo, the quote-unquote embargo. Plus, it allowed me to have, a hands-on by myself with this. So what I did was I made a guest account. I played through a lot of Grand Theft Auto 3, the Definitive Edition. I basically played through the whole entire first island in terms of the story. I did a Turismo as well, because I wanted to see if the Mafia was as overpowered as they are in the original. And fortunately for me, they had pistols and stuff like that, and they weren't even attacking me. So I think they might have nerfed them in at least the Turismo race. So I think even when failing the Turismo race, I still had that. So I'll probably be doing this one differently compared to the rest. For those who do not know, Grand Theft Auto 3 is actually a pretty difficult Grand Theft Auto compared to the rest, I would say. Grand Theft Auto 3 definitely has quite the difficulty in some ways compared to future installments in this series, so it's gonna be quite an interesting one. And yes, I am live streaming. Good. I wanted to make sure here, since I had started right at the intro and stuff, so I could include it, obviously. But I'll be kind of talking a lot before I go into here, by the way. There's kind of a bit I want to explain. But yeah, the Definitive Edition. The Definitive Edition, in my opinion, the Definitive Edition is like the best way to play a game, kind of. Like, yeah, a lot of games can get Definitive Edition obviously slapped on them because they're the latest one with like graphical enhancements, improvements, and stuff like that. Obviously, like I said, graphically, it's gonna be the best versions. But yeah, given the past Wardroom Studios, Grove Street Games, and stuff like that, that kind of suggests in terms of like quality-wise, it might not be as good as the originals, which obviously Rockstar themselves created the originals. This is made by another company, Grove Street Games, which used to be Wardroom Studios again. So I feel that Definitive Edition is kind of just there to say it's basically the best graphical version, essentially. It doesn't mean it's actually necessarily the Definitive Edition. Obviously, there's like quality of life changes as well, like the weapon wheels and like the radio station wheels and stuff like that. But in terms of like actual, like the whole game and stuff, the originals, like I said, most definitely going to still be better. And yeah, unfortunately, Rockstar took that away from basically like everything for the original versions, even on like PC and stuff. But at least on PC, you'd be able to find it like secondhand and stuff. There's probably people who have like the files for the originals out there and stuff on PC. And as for consoles, I don't even really know if there's much of a way you could get those on consoles again. I obviously officially not, but unofficially I don't know. And yeah, that's the Definitive Edition. I'm trying to think of anything else I might have been wanting to say here. And in comparison to, I'm going to kind of compare another like Definitive Edition I've played. I played a Definitive Edition game like a year to two ago, known as like Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. It's like on a Nintendo Switch. It was originally a Nintendo Wii game. That one was a graphical enhancements and it stayed mostly the same because again, that one's kind of a remaster. I'll go in like remaster versus a remake, what I think this is as well here before I get started as well. But it's Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, very amazing game. I've actually never got to play the original one on there. I know it's on like Wii U Virtual Console, which I have for a Wii U, but yeah. My first time playing Xenoblade Chronicles was actually on the Switch. And that one does seem pretty faithful to the original, and obviously that one's also made by like the same people, whereas this one's made by like completely different people compared to the original. So yeah, not Definitive Edition. I feel is a great like standard for a Definitive Edition, I would say. So that's basically what I'm kind of thinking in terms of the Definitive Edition. Kind of, I'm not exactly sure how to explain what I'm trying to say here, but hopefully somebody gets it if they watch this part for any reason. And then, yeah. Now that I went over that, how about remaster versus remake? Because, in my opinion, this game is kind of both a remaster and a remake, and I'll probably try to explain that as best as I can. So, a remaster. What's a remaster exactly, in my opinion? In my opinion, a remaster is if the game is mostly the same from the original, aside for like graphical enhancements, essentially. So obviously, this is Grand Theft Auto 3. According to like the Elite Trophy list and stuff, there wasn't like very significant like content additions or anything, aside for like the weapon wheel, the radio wheel, and stuff like that, like a GPS system. Those are all very minor things that don't like significantly change the game. It wasn't like the content itself, I would say, was not completely made up from the ground up or whatever. So the content itself is largely the same for sure, I would say, for Grand Theft Auto 3, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, and Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Now, in my opinion, that is completely fine. I absolutely enjoy playing those three games, the original 3D Universe trilogy. And yes, I know Liberty City Stories and Vice City Stories exist. Fortunately, Rockstar neglects those a lot. I'm mainly just talking about the free, obviously, to have these definitive editions, though. But yeah, obviously, they're going to mostly be the same, and it's not like, there's not like whole new like missions or like anything like that added in, so yeah. In my opinion, gameplay-wise, it's more of a remaster. Remake. What is a remake, though, in my opinion? A remake is where like the whole entire game, in my opinion, is made from the ground up, which means they can make like very significant content changes as well as obviously like the graphical enhancements and stuff like that you would expect in a remaster. But yeah, my opinion, this game has slight qualities of a remake as well. For example, this is actually on the Unreal Engine, same goes for Grand Theft Auto Vice City and Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. So if you look at it from an engine perspective, it's kind of a remake, because it's not on the Renderware engine, or it's not like on the Rockstar Rage engine that they use for the HD Universe titles. So if it was on the Rage engine, then yeah, it would be more of a remaster in my opinion, but it does have that slight bit of a remake because it's on the Unreal Engine and not the Renderware. Not Renderware, which I don't think they would really use anymore, but if they were to use something similar, it would probably be like the Rage engine, which is Rockstar's own engine, but they went with Unreal Engine. So yeah, content-wise, I'd definitely say this is a remaster, same with the other two games, Vice City San Andreas Definitive Editions. So yeah, I would say this is 95% a remaster, and it's at like 5% because of like the engine change, in my opinion, where it's the slightest bit of a remake as well. So hopefully that explains my opinions on these games, kind of here. The Definitive Edition, what they did with them and stuff like that, like first impressions. But yeah, going into the menu here, you notice if I scroll down and stuff, this is kind of my first little complaint with the game. This goes for all of them, by the way. You can notice they used the Grand Theft Auto San Andreas sound effects for the menus, and trust me, it's not just this beginning menu, it's like all the menus, I would say, in the game, kind of. Which is kind of unfortunate, like, yes, it's in a trilogy to make you buy the whole trilogy so you get all 3 games. But come on, you can't tell me they couldn't put the effort of having the Grand Theft Auto free menu music for this game, and then Vice City have the Vice City music stuff as well. Why do they all have to have the Grand Theft Auto San Andreas music for the like menus and stuff like that? That's a bit ridiculous. And by the way, I checked earlier, and these were all the like day 1 updates. But yeah, I think they released a day 1 update on Wednesday because I guess Rockstar knows that people were getting their hands on this game early. Unintended, obviously, on Rockstar's part. So yeah. I'm pretty sure this is up to date. I don't know if I check right now, technically. I'll try, I guess, here. Alright, yeah. It says it's still the latest version for me. So any complaints that I have about any of the free games, those are currently up to date as of November 11th, 2021, aka the official release day of this game. So any complaints, I would say, as of this moment, are officially fair. Any complaints on like Saturday and stuff, especially when the games first released, weren't necessarily fair because those were like before the day 1 update, which a lot of games do have day 1 updates. And yeah, I really hate that the music themes are San Andreas for all 3 games. That's really stupid in my opinion. But yeah, before I start, I'll go into game here. Game is a very simple section here. Load game, new game, delete game. The cool thing is that you can see there is actually an autosave. Now, this is not surprising for those who have played the 10th anniversary editions or know those versions. The like mobile versions all had autosaves as far as I'm aware. But yeah. By the way, going into another mobile game that's not Wardroom Studios, but is kind of Rockstar, is Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories. I don't think Wardroom Studios, Grocery Games were involved with that one. I think Liberty City Stories on mobile was made by like Lucid Games or something like that. And like I feel that version was kind of pretty good. But considering that Grocery Games Word Drum Studio messed up on the 360 PS3 versions of San Andreas, I'm kind of shocked they went with them and not like the Lucid Games that made like Liberty City Stories or whatever. That's kind of unfortunate in my opinion. Just going into the company a bit more, like I did earlier, by the way. But yeah, the only really thing I've noticed here is the autosave slot. Unfortunately, I do not think you can disable autosave. I wish you could disable autosave like you can in Grand Theft Auto 5. In Grand Theft Auto 5, you can obviously disable the autosave, but you cannot do that for the trilogy, I believe, which is very unfortunate. You should have the option to turn off autosave, in my opinion. And then we go into options here. Controls, just control layout, invert look. Now, invert look, that might have been a thing automatically with like the PS2 version and stuff like that, so this could make it more similar to the PS2 version with invert look for all I know. I'm not sure. Not sure if there's much of a like camera change thing like that or whatever, but yeah. Look sensitivity, vibration, tap to sprint, first person, third person, aiming sensitivity, restore to defaults. Gameplay here, you have targeting, you have aim assist, free aim, classic aim. The aim assist, obviously, that's a lock on. Free aim, that's completely free aim. Classic aim, I imagine that's something to make it reminiscent to the PS2 versions and whatnot. And obviously on aim assist, you can adjust the sensitivity. Vehicle camera height, there's all those different options there. Restore default. So yeah, that's nice to have the restore defaults if you forget like what they originally were. Fidelity, bloom. I think bloom has something to do with like shooting a gun over time or something, or like the shots kind of like go more all over the place or something. I might be wrong on that one, not sure. Lens flare, I'm not exactly sure what that is. Probably kind of a camera thing, obviously, because it's a graphic section here. Motion blur, not exactly sure if that's so worth it or not, to have on or not. I'm going to keep it default though, obviously. Depth of field, I'm not exactly sure what that necessarily is. Brightness, contrast, stuff for like display kind of purposes. Store defaults, obviously. Sound effect volume, music volume. This is the one setting I'm going to change. All the rest of my settings are all default options. The reason I have my music volume, the reason I have the music volume all the way down, obviously, is so that music doesn't play whenever I can prevent it. Because obviously YouTube and like copyright reasons and stuff like that. And by the way, I'll probably only be doing a huge breakdown like this on this episode. When I do part 1 for Vice City San Andreas, I'll probably mostly be going in those right away. I just want to mainly explain a lot of things, obviously being the first part of this like, huge series of things probably I'll be doing here. Dialogue volume. But yeah, dialogue volume, I imagine is the volume in like cutscenes when characters speak and stuff like that. Radio station default, you can change the default. So I think default would probably change it to the vehicle default. So I don't know, I could maybe try to do head radio or like Lips 106. I know those aren't copyrighted, but I'm not going to risk it, so I'm probably just going to have music off. It's unfortunate, I don't know if the head radio, like making that on the radio station, like guarantee a head radio every single time. That way I know it's playing non-copyrighted music. But yeah, I'm not going to risk it, unfortunately. I wish they gave it the feature that they did with Los Santos tuners, where you can like disable certain radio stations. That way you can only have like the 1 or 2 you want. Unfortunately, it didn't seem they really did that with the trilogy. I wish they gave it that like Los Santos tuners feature of disabling any radio station you don't want on the wheel, for example. So that's kind of unfortunate to see they didn't really do that. And yeah, obviously it's for default accessibility. Language, obviously. Subtitles. Subtitles is actually automatically on. I don't think that's the case in the PS2 version and whatnot. I think in the older version, subtitles is off at default. So it's definitely nice, in my opinion, that the subtitles are on automatically. I think the subtitles are definitely kind of helpful in a sense. because I like to look at the subtitles more than actually have to listen to the characters necessarily. And yeah, you can adjust the size, which is quite nice. Me, I'm just keeping the original size at default there. And yeah, you can change the size of help text, which is part of the stuff that appears on like the top left and like right of the screen and stuff. And yeah, defaults again, restore. So that's options, and then social club. Now, this will explain how the achievements and trophies work. Now, the way it works is that the trophies and achievements are on the actual system. There's exactly 29. And then you find the rest of the 15 for Grand Theft Auto 3 in the social club section here. So unfortunately, some of these trophy achievements are actually tied to the Rockstar Games social club, which means they're not all directly tied to the system. And 29 is actually the exact number that I believe that the PlayStation 4 version had for Grand Theft Auto 3. I believe Vice City has 33 on the actual like trophy list for PlayStation 5, for example. I think 33 was the exact amount Vice City had in the PS4 versions as well. I think San Andreas, they changed it kind of though, where I think San Andreas is 35 on the like actual trophy list, and then the extra like 13 I think for that game are tied to Social Club. So most of the trophies will be tied to the actual trophy listing, but any that aren't in the trophy listing you'll find through the Social Club section here. So some of these like cool like achievement trophy things you can get are unfortunately tied to the Social Club. So that's how they incorporate some of these. So I was super confused when I was playing on like a guest account I made to like kind of play through all three of them for a bit. I was confused when I didn't get the Got Any Stories Old Man for completing Untitled Chapter, because I did do that, but I didn't get the trophy, and that was because I was on another account I don't have a social club for. So that's why I didn't get that. So if you don't get a trophy for some reason, an achievement, you know it's in the game, and that's why, is you need that social club. I'll kind of talk about these ones a bit, I suppose, as well. I'll probably mainly, when I do Vice City San Andreas on the first part, I'll probably talk about these sections as well. And yeah, I think Vice City has 43, so I think Vice City should have 10 of these are tied to Social Club, and like I said, San Andreas has 35 in the actual trophy list. I think that's 48, I think 13 for San Andreas for Social Club. So 15 for Grand Theft Auto 3 being tied to the Social Club is actually the most Social Club achievements of all the free games. I think so. This has the most Social Club achievements between the 3 different definitive editions. But yeah, this one's completing Chippy Shopper, all phone missions, 20 rampages, 10 rampages. Those are pretty easy for the 100%, same with Cheese and Paper. Die from being run over, that one's kind of more of a difficult one, I would say. Same with Hunting Season, VP Offender, Cheaters Do Prosper. Those few, you'll probably have to go more out your way for those ones for sure. The export ones, those should be pretty easy for the 100%. Leave Picture, Extinguish 20 Fires, I think this one's more out the way. Criminal Rating one, that one's more out the way as well. For a game, you have to do a very particular thing in that one mission to get that one. I was trying to do that one though, and it didn't really work out well when I was playing it like off stream and stuff, unfortunately. So maybe you have to park the taxi very particular to get their game, because like Curly Bob would just keep going at like the one taxi that he's supposed to go on even when I was like in a taxi. So either it's broken for some reason in this version, or like you have to park it very particularly. It might be that second thing. And yeah, if I forget, hopefully, to go over these, if someone watches, then please remind me about this one especially, and that might be the one I might forget about. And Recycler Crush 25 Cars. And this one I'll probably be having to do in the next part. And yeah, Recycler Crush 25 Cars, that one's more out the way as well. But it shouldn't be too difficult regardless on that one. And yeah, you can just score it on a link. I guess it's already linked from another Rockstar game I've played before, so I guess the PS5 already has my social club entirely or something. That's cool. Alright. Sorry we're talking on this one screen for like 25 minutes here, but yeah. There's a lot to explain considering these versions just came out. I'll probably only be talking for 25 minutes on this one screen on Grand Theft Auto 3. Of course, with more of the stuff out of the way with this game and this part covered, these sections would probably be easier for part 1 of Vice City and San Andreas. By the way, I have had the game crash a couple times on Grand Theft Auto 3. I think Vice City had a game crash over dying by cops and stuff, so yeah. You can get some really stupidly easy game crashes, unfortunately, so it might be kind of worth to save your progress manually. Because the autosave might not be the most reliable. I think I heard someone had to start over 4 hours with their autosave because I guess apparently I didn't save right or something. I don't know, when the game crashed for me on autosave, I would always kind of remember what mission I was on and stuff. But yeah. These versions of the game are prone to crashing, unfortunately, even on the day 1 patch, so do be wary of that. So if a stream ends randomly, that's probably wise, because the game probably ends up crashing. If I have to continue a part or something like that. But with all that out of the way for 26 plus minutes, going into the huge introduction for the free games, kind of, I should finally be ready here. Start. I want to say that's a Suka, I believe. But obviously, it's the beginning mission here, intro cutscene. And yeah, I'll talk about spoiler stuff as well. Because, yeah, these games are almost 20 plus years old for some. This one's over 20 years old even, so I'm not gonna care to not talk over cutscenes and stuff. But yeah, Claude, obviously the protagonist is Claude. He actually also appears in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Catalina also actually appears in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas for a previous setting. Because this game's actually 2001 Liberty City. And yeah, 2001, this actually makes it the last game in the 3D universe chronologically, in terms of story and in terms of the chronologicalness, whatever.
Liberty City is in shock today as the police and emergency
so this one takes place the latest in terms of a year compared to the original trilogy. And even with the stories included, it's the one that takes place the latest between all the 3D universe games.
The convoy left police headquarters early this morning for a routine transfer of felons to Liberty Penitentiary. The attack took place on the Callahan Bridge, leaving few witnesses and the bridge itself severely damaged. Some of the convicts are thought to have perished in the explosion that followed the initial attack. Revelations as to the professionalism of the attack struck police hours afterward, when identification of the missing felons were further hampered by an attack by computer hackers on police headquarters databases. With the Porter Tunnel project falling behind schedule,
bomb fell or some shit. Not sure where that bomb came from necessarily. Maybe that Patriot. I don't know. By the way, I'm not going to be most informed of the story. If you want to be very informed of the story, I recommend a professional. Professional's really good with telling the stories of these games, apparently. So that's a channel I recommend watching. He's actually right next to 1 million subscribers, which is pretty cool.
Get lost.
And yeah, that character is known as 8-Ball. He actually runs the bomb shops in this game. There might be 8-Ball bomb shops in other games, not exactly sure. I think at least Liberty City Stories probably has 8-Ball bomb shops as well. And actually, I think he appears in Liberty City Stories too, actually. But yeah, I think his only physical appearances in Liberty City with 3 and then Liberty City Stories. And yeah, 3D Universe, pretty much none of the characters from 3D Universe can go into HD Universe. That's kind of a rule Rockstar has, by the way. So I'm really just talking 3D Universe for the most part. But yeah, give me Liberty. Cutscenes before, the cutscenes before are just known as the introduction. But yeah, as you can see right away in the gameplay, you can tell they kept that dark and gloomy setting and stuff. Even putting it onto Unreal Engine and stuff, which is super exciting. But yeah, that's the radar. I use it to navigate city and stuff. Do the brake or reverse, the vehicle stop. And you can kind of go back there and there's cops and stuff. handbrake. And you can already see the new like GPS system on here. And yeah, all the maps kind of look like San Andreas, which is really dumb. Alright, you can go into social club again, even when you're in this section. Stats, you can see very difficult. Stats, you can see the very particular like stat stuff here for the 100% and whatnot. Brief, that's where you can see things of dialogue if you forget about them and stuff. So that's kind of a little look at the pause menu map there. But yeah, let's kind of survey over here actually, why not? And yeah, like that Kuruma, you can still kind of tell it's kind of like a PS2 texture, kind of, but it also looks HD at the same time, pretty cool. And yeah, the map is definitely quite an upgrade, especially for Grand Theft Auto 3, which the original version actually did not have a pause mini map. So you had to like rely on the mini map for this game in particular. I think the only other version that actually has that like map in terms of official versions is that 10th anniversary one. So I think only a 10th anniversary one and then this definitive edition, I think are the only two official versions of a map in the pause menu. Now, at least for Grand Theft Auto 3, you can actually toggle the games, which is pretty cool. I don't really think the games are necessarily shown in the other two games. Especially Vice City, I don't think that's really a thing in that one. I think the games are kind of important to show because they are kind of a pain in the ass in this game. And yeah, obviously San Andreas, you kind of always see the games in that one, at least certain ones, because of the game territory. And I'll definitely want a coach later on for the fuzzball. That's something that needs to be done for a very particular trophy. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I can think of mentioning here, not really necessarily. But yeah, I don't know, in my opinion, I'm kind of mixed on the like daytime feeling in this game. I feel an Unreal Engine. But at least nighttime definitely looks pretty like good and faithful to the original.
This is the place right here. Let's get off the street and find a change of clothes.
Oh, I meant to kind of talk about that prison outfit there. But yeah, that orange, like, penitentiary clothing is actually kind of supposed to be coming into Grand Theft Auto Online, according to Los Santos, like, tuner leaks that happened. So apparently that outfit's actually kind of supposed to get into Grand Theft Auto Online, which is pretty cool. I mean, it would be pretty cool for it to go into the game. But yeah. Something else I want to show off, actually, is that you can actually see that I think the garages all kind of got an update. I don't think there's like detailed like tool things and stuff in these like garages and stuff, but this definitive edition put like extra kind of like props in here. I think that's kind of the case for all three games, I think I heard, so that's definitely pretty nice. I don't know if it kind of ruins the like potential of like what vehicles you can kind of store in here for some of the like more unique vehicles that you might want. Yeah. By the way, some glitches from the original definitely work pretty well. I know that you can still get the all-proof stretch at least. You can still get into like Joey's garage and all that kind of stuff. You can still go in the water and all like fail a mission in like certain highly indestructible vehicles and stuff, so it's pretty cool. But yeah, obviously might as well take the baseball bat here. And yeah, unfortunately, I think I tested it with Vice City and San Andreas. You cannot hold every single weapon at once. I thought that would be kind of the main purpose of introducing a weapon wheel, not just for a quick selection and not having to keep pressing left and right and stuff. But yeah, Grandfather 3 can obviously hold all the weapons, because, yeah. See, 5, 7, 9. I think the other two games have like 10 slots, I think, for the weapon wheel. No, GTA 3 seems to have like 12, it looks like. Because the way it works for GTA 3, even in the original, is that every weapon is its own slot. Which makes it the one game in the 3D universe where you can have all the weapons at one time. Unless Grand Theft Auto Advance does that as well, but I've never played that one. And by the way, this Karima is actually in the color being teal. So if you want to keep the teal Karima, you definitely might want to save that. It's only a unique color though, it doesn't have like bulletproof or like fireproof or anything like that, so I wouldn't probably keep it.
Wait here, man, while I go in and talk to Luigi.
But here we'll be introduced to Luigi, which I think only appears in this game actually for the 3D universe. Unless of course Grand Theft Auto Advance, but that's like a very one-off game that not a lot of people have played.
8-Ball's got some business upstairs. Or maybe you could do me a favor. One of my girls needs a ride, so grab a car and pick up Misty from...
By the way, Misty's the like cover girl in this game.
No one messes with my girls.
Or I'm pretty sure she is the cover girl. Even though she kind of looks very different in the game than she does on the like cover. At least in my opinion. And don't worry, Luigi. Claude will surely keep his hands off of your girl.
His mother's come, she hates me. Hi, I'm Misty.
But yeah, I believe between the 3 different cover girls, that Misty's the one that tends to appear the most. And yeah, Luigi, I think he's only in GTA 3. I don't think he's in Liberty City Stories. Because there was someone else that was in the club for Liberty City Stories. It was like some... I don't remember the exact like person, but it's like a completely different character. Like 3 years before, that's in that same exact club. But yeah, something happened in Liberty City Stories where Luigi ends up taking over. Professional explained it pretty well again, but can't exactly remember how to describe it. So Luigi did not originally reside in that club, he actually ended up taking over in the Liberty City Stories, the last time he kind of bothered with it. First day on the job, complete Luigi's girl, it's the easiest trophy surely in the game. Well, you pretty much have to go to Luigi, actually, because he's really the only option. Oh gee, I'm glad I didn't get one level there. Don't spank my bitch up. Boy, I'm sure he won't be doing it.
Luigi said to give you this, so here, take it.
I'll explain this character later, by the way. I don't know if his name was revealed yet.
Some wise guys been introducing this trash to my girls down Portland Harbor. Go and introduce.
And yeah, Spink is like the crack of this game.
Respray it. I want compensation for this.
Oh yeah, let's get that compensation for this insult. At least for now. Which he kind of ends up being a little bit like the rest of the Mafia though later on, but yeah. Yeah, that's where you're technically supposed to first get the bat, but yeah. bat's kind of annoying in this game though, because you can't run with the bat in this game. It's like that in the original as well, and like I said, it's mainly a remaster, not a full-blown remake. Okay, I guess I don't have sprinting right now. I want to see if I can get like a good running speed going here to explain what I'm talking about, but yeah. Okay, I could only sprint there for a moment, what the fuck? Yeah, as you can see, when I apply the bat, it stops letting him sprint. Or it's supposed to, but yeah, my sprint's not super good right now, I guess. It's not really much of a stamina stat, though I think you can get infinite stamina in this game as well, like other ones. Okay, it wants me to use the bat, I guess I'll use it. Obviously, ideal strategy is just use the car to run him over, though. It's still a pretty easy way of doing it. Alright, the Stallion. I think the Stallion is actually one of the like vehicles that is actually in like the most Grand Theft Auto games. I think it's actually a vehicle from back in the first Grand Theft Auto game. There's not actually a lot of those that are in the 3D and probably especially the HD universe. But yeah, the Stallion is one of his vehicles that is in a lot of the titles in the series. This mission basically is a way to show off the paint spray, essentially. But obviously, I'll say like lose the cops, get the vehicle resprayed. It's just a very simple thing, not crazy like the Los Santos Customs, obviously. San Andreas kind of makes it a bit more crazy, and then obviously Grand Theft 5 made it so much more. But yeah, it's very simple in most of these Grand Theft Auto games. By the way, I think I was going to mention that character, that like character in the blue, that's with Luigi, that character is actually known as Mickey, I believe. Mickey actually plays a way more significant role in Liberty City Stories, which takes place 3 years before this game, but released in like 2004, 2005 or something, like in real life. Mickey was actually Salvatore's hitman, I believe he was, in Liberty City Stories. But I guess in Grand Theft Auto 3 he watches over like the club, the like Sex Club 7 whatever. I don't know if that's the name in Liberty City Stories or something. So I think that's what Mickey's role is in Liberty City Stories, which is much more significant than this one. I think in this game he basically just appears, he's not really that like significant in this one. The Mr. Whoopi. Ice Cream Music sure isn't copyrighted, right? But I'll go into the map here. I didn't really talk much about the safe houses, but there's 3 safe houses in this game. Basically, you get 1 per island. And yeah, it's kind of weird in my opinion that you can already see all the locations. But I think the reason for that is because you technically unlock all of them when you first complete Luigi's Girls. You don't actually unlock them at different points of the game, which means you can technically use all 3 of them if you can actually somehow get to them beforehand. You know, it's even kind of a theme with the original, except obviously the original just didn't have like a pause menu map to really know that much necessarily. And yeah, by the way, this Mr. Whoopi, I think it's kind of a rare, like, uncommon vehicle that you kind of need for exporting, so it could be kind of worth storing this one for later on in the game for the 100% if you're going for that.
What am I gonna do?
Yeah, drive Misty for me.
I gotta talk to you.
Oh god, right, here that. Big Mick stands for, like, Mickey, I believe, which is Salvatore's former hitman, I believe.
Joey Leone. He wants some action from his regular girl, Misty.
Joey Leone.
Pick her up at Hepburn Heights, but watch yourself. That's the turf. Then run her over to his garage in Trenton and make it quick. Joey ain't the kind you keep waiting. Remember, this is your foot in the door. So keep your eyes on the road and off Misty.
Boy, I caught him fucking hitting on Misty full. Maybe you should go if you want to know that. Claude doesn't speak for shit, so of course he's not gonna be hitting on anyone full. Going around Misty in an ice cream van, why not? And I'll probably explain Joey Leone later on, because obviously he's gonna be in here later, and I'm actually gonna be doing his first strand of missions. I'm gonna try to talk about characters as they appear. I kinda needed to mention Salvatore early though, because obviously kind of is important for explaining that Mickey character. That's more prevalent in Lower City stories. Oh my god. And by the way, a lot of these free universe games don't actually obviously take place in the year that they release, and like HD Universe pretty much always takes place in modern day when these games first release. That's something I really like about 3D universes. Is that they were able to go crazy with the timelines. They don't really do that anymore with HD Universe. But yeah, this is the one exception in the 3D universe where it takes place in like the present year the game released. Something I wanted to mention. I probably need to stay in here. Okay, I'm gonna turn it off. Hopefully the cutscene's easier to hear and stuff. I forgot to do that last time. I forgot it blends into the cutscene. That's Joey Leone, which was mentioned in I think in dialogue earlier.
Hey, I'm Joey.
I think this is its only physical appearance in this game. Like not this game, but like in the entire 3D universe, he only physically appears in Grand Theft Auto 3. But yeah, Joey Leone, I think is mentioned in San Andreas. San Andreas, I believe that CJ mentions Joey Leone to like Salvatore and like Las Venturas and stuff like that. Liberty City stories, I don't really even know if he's even mentioned in that game, weirdly enough. His garage appears in Liberty City stories, but you don't really like do any missions or anything for Joey as far as I remember in Liberty City stories. So I think he's only really mainly in Grand Theft Auto 3, which is kind of weird, in my opinion. where was he like 3 years prior? Did he even like exist in Liberty City stories? Like, was he even in Liberty City like 3 years before? Because he was apparently in Liberty City like in 1992, going off of like CJ. So like, where was he in like 1998 in Liberty City stories? Not have like much of a significant appearance. Alright. seems one more Luigi mission before the fuzzballs. But yeah, for the fuzzball, I want to have a very particular vehicle for a certain like achievement trophy. I'll go over. Okay, this is a fun meme vehicle here, so sure, I guess I'll keep rocking it here. And unfortunately, my throat's a bitch right now, but yeah.
Some Diablo scumbag has been pimping his scuzzy bitches in my backyard. Go and take care of things for me. If you need a piece, go around back of
Alright, I guess this is where we unlock the ammunition here. Oh, I forgot you can actually get a free piece of ammo, I think, here. Like, I don't think you have to pay for the one. I think Luigi pays one for you, I think. So I guess I'll check out the ammunition here. Because I think Luigi provides a complimentary pistol there, so it's definitely worth taking it, obviously. So I think I forgot to do that when practicing Grand Theft Auto 3 a little bit. But yeah, there's 2 icons, which yeah, means there is a weapon pickup. So yeah, it's important to listen to the dog there, because yeah, you get a free weapon here for this mission. 45 rounds for the pistol. Now, in my opinion, it's not actually necessarily worth, like, using the pistol here. Okay, I'm not gonna want this. I don't think it's gonna drive that well, necessarily. I might take this, like, Bobcat over here. I think it's a Bobcat, I want to say, for this one. And Mr. Whoopi, I think, appears in, like, the HD universe as well with Grand Theft Auto 4. Obviously, cars from 3D universe can transfer over to HD, same with 2D. Just like the characters, for the most part, are kind of locked by universe, as far as I understand. So, like I said, a lot of these 3D universe characters make like little to no appearance in HD universe. It doesn't mean it can't be mentioned necessarily in the HD universe, kind of. Like, certain ones can be in, like, the radio stations and stuff, but yeah. It's kind of hard to explain their little, like, universe rule, in a sense. And it's kind of unfortunate with their universe rule, because it would be kind of cool to have, like, Claude and stuff in HD universe available as well. Like, I know he's a character you can kind of, like, base your character off of on GTA Online. That's obviously a very minor thing with Claude. And you might want to keep your vehicle pretty healthy for this, by the way, because I think these characters have pretty crazy weaponry, I think. I think one has a micro SMG, and then the other has, like, a shotgun, I think. Okay, I don't know if I should hit them here or not. Maybe. Ah, fuck. No, that's not a good... Actually, that was a good parking spot, because they both had to come out in the same spot, yes. But yeah, just run them over, that's a very easy way of completing it. I wouldn't really bother using the pistol. Might as well save the pistol when we might need it more. When I might need it more here. That's right, because I'm not calling it Let's Play, I'm calling it Walkthrough. I don't really like the concept of Let's Play, necessarily. And it's only one person playing the game. We unlocked the micro SMG, 50 rounds there. I think you don't officially unlock it in the ammunition yet, but in terms of the character, I unlocked it. And then you had a shotgun, 5 rounds. That shotgun is definitely a pretty good weapon. I would probably keep it for later in the game, especially that one. But yeah, we now have a drive-by weapon with that micro SMG. And like I said, in this game, you can actually keep all the weapons on hand at once, which is super cool. So you don't have to exchange any weapons in this game. It's the one 3D universe game, as far as I know, that allows you to hold all weapons at once, because there's so little weapons in the game. Even the rocket launcher and flamethrower, I think, has their own slots in this game. Oh, and right, I want a coach for this mission. And I'll actually save the game here manually. Yeah, man, I already got 5 of the weapons in the game. It's pretty nice. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool how quick you can get the micro SMG and the shotgun in this game. I mean, if you wanted to find a weapon like pickups on the map, you could probably do that pretty easily. But yeah, I mean, like actually just playing the missions. Alright, yeah, my manual save is now. Pump back and pimp. This stream's been going on for almost an hour now. That's not too bad, in my opinion. But yeah, I really want to pick up a coach here so that I can do that one like achievement trophy thing. And yeah, if I didn't mention, I'll probably do the 100% different for Grand Theft Auto 3. Now that I went about like the triads and stuff like that. Like I said, the games can be kind of a pain in the ass, so because of that, I might be doing more like side stuff. So I might do some side stuff before I go into the main areas, only for Grand Theft Auto 3. Vice City and San Andreas, none of the games make areas like completely unexplorable in my opinion. Only I feel for Grand Theft Auto 3, the game can be kind of unplayable sometimes with some of the games. I'll show where you can get a coach here, if I can remember it here. But yeah, in this little like area here, you can find the coaches for the fuzzball, which what that lets you do is you can actually pick up all the NPCs in like one vehicle in one trip, which is super nice. Which is the point of like the achievement trophies to teach you that you can actually like pick up everybody in one vehicle here. So we're taking a coach for the next mission for a particular reason. I'm not doing Joey. I think Luigi has one more mission, and I'll be pretty much sticking to Joey for the rest of the stream. Because I'll probably do like 10 to like 15 missions minimum. I'll probably do a 10 to 15 mission like minimum though for a part. Unless I'm doing like side stuff, then obviously that will be different for the side missions. Side mission parts will probably be longer, honestly, and just because of the nature of them. The main missions obviously kind of breeze through them in a sense. We had a fuzzball. The coach for this one. Even if you're not necessarily going for the trophy achievement, it's definitely super helpful for this mission. Kind of. There's some drawbacks to it, obviously, but yeah.
The old school hall near the Callahan Bridge, and they'll be looking for some old school action. Now, I got girls all over town walking the street. Get them to the ball. They'll make a bundle. Get as many of them as you can before the cops drink away their green.
Whoa, watch it there. And yeah, obviously the beauty of the pause mini map is you can kind of plan your routes better compared to the original, which the original Grand Theft Auto 3 did not actually have a pause mini map. So I'll definitely probably be using pause menu a bit for this one, because yeah, in the original, good luck picking up everyone in the code. If you don't know your route the greatest. And yeah, as soon as they start entering, I think you can kind of move. Since as long as they're in like the enter vehicle animation, you should basically be able to move the vehicle. As far as I understand. Okay, I might take a little risk here. I don't know if it's going to be good to do or not. Alright, yeah, that worked fine. Good. But yeah, once they open the door, you can basically start going. Or maybe like a second after. Oops. No, I actually didn't do that. Alright, I'll go for the one from me next. Yeah, I think there's 8 of these, I believe, so yeah. I think the coach is like the only vehicle that you might be able to fit all 8 of these in. There's like another bus, but I don't know if it can fit all 8 of them like the coach can. Because yeah, some of the seating things in the 3D universe can be kind of weird. Like the seating capacities are definitely more realistic in its sense in Grand Theft Auto Online, Grand Theft Auto 5, Grand Theft Auto Online especially though because of actual players and all, but yeah. As far as I know, you might not be able to do this with the like bus. And yeah, they say in the trophy achievement to use the coach, not the bus. Even if that is the case, so definitely use the coach. Try it this way, I guess. Oof. Did not mean to do that one either. And by the way, there's going to be 3 of these like mission challenge things I have to do in a row, by the way. So the next 2 missions I think I have to do will have mission challenges to do as well for the achievement trophy in the game. And what was that arm that just like randomly appeared out of the like coach there? I think I saw an arm just appear out of the coach randomly there. I don't know if that was somehow like Cod's arm, even though he's in the driver's seat. I don't know, that was a bit weird there. Okay, I don't know if this was a good one to go for here. I don't know, I have like almost 2 minutes, so it's not too much of a worry. Kind of doing better than I did on my like practice runs for this like challenge for the definitive edition. I didn't really do practice runs on the original versions. And this is definitely kind of good practice for the paramedic mission, I would say, for the side mission. And most likely you'll probably be kind of tight on time, by the way. And yeah, you do need to account for the time when you drop them off as well. They need to kind of be dropped off by a certain time as well. Because like the animation and stuff takes some time as well. This should be the last one, obviously, here. Alright, this should be good here. Alright, got the silver trophy here. Got this figured out. Use a coach to pick up all 8 prostitutes in the mission, the Fuzzball. Five, 6, 3. Get your starting asses off this bus, man. Come on. In order to coach. They kept falling to the ground too. Oh shit, they banging though, and especially these ones showing lots of cleavage and shit, or whatever, I don't fucking know. You even get a bonus if you like get all of them. I don't think you have to get all the girls, I think it's only an option. So if you want to do the mission quicker, don't care for the trophy for some reason, you can just pick up less of them and use like an actual vehicle. But obviously I wanted to like extra trophy achievement thing for the like for my account, obviously, for getting a better like score for the trophy, I suppose, or like their trophy score. And yeah, I probably won't be wanting to use this for the rest of the thing. Using it for one like huge mission like that was definitely enough in my opinion. And you know, since I did get that, I will probably save. Plus the next one you have to actually do on your first attempt, so it's actually probably best to save here just in case. I'm trying to reduce the amount of times I end up manually saving, but yeah. But honestly, it's kind of worth saving before every mission that has any sort of gunplay, I would say. Because I think I ended up dying and then the game actually autosaved that, so the game does actually autosave you dying, at least from my experience, so it is actually kind of worth it to save every mission before a mission with huge gunplay in it. If you know your mission super well. And yeah, time advances by 6 hours, it's always like that for basically every game until Grand Theft Auto 5. Grand Theft Auto 5 with Michael still seems. In Grand Theft Auto 5, Michael still saves of 6 hours in advance for the clock. So I think Franklin's 8 hours and then Trevor's 12 hours. So yeah, the free character system obviously means there's different times that you can advance by. But yeah, pretty much every game but GTA 5, it's only by 6 hours every time you save. And yeah, pretty sure that's been with every single one of these. For every 3D University game, you're basically advancing 6 hours. Alright, yeah, football. But I'll probably be doing a good bit of Joey missions here as well. Once I get past this first strand. By the way, the missions, the way I'm figuring out when to do the missions and stuff is for GTA series, not series. I'm using the GTA Wiki, its mission page, to know what missions I want to do and stuff. So like I said, I'm going for a minimum of 10 to 15, I feel. So that way the missions don't take that much parts of the walkthrough. But yeah, I got for the introduction ones, and then Luigi's few missions. I'll actually be doing 6 missions, it looks like, for Joey here, and I will conclude the stream essentially. Since I don't want to do too little missions, in my opinion, and then also not too much missions either. And yeah, actually it doesn't matter too much what vehicle I have at the beginning here. Okay, we have a very particular mission time here, 5 to 21 o'clock, that sucks. Let me reload the game then, I guess. That was 8 ball. And yeah, I don't have a vehicle stored there, because I don't really care to store a vehicle necessarily. And yeah, by the way, every time you go in a taxi or stuff, you get a tiny bit of money. So if you want to kind of go for some money over time, then definitely keep going to taxis in particular. And I think for Grand Theft Auto 3, when you damage vehicles, you actually get money as well. And I wanted to show something, by the way. I don't think a top-down camera exists anymore, unfortunately. I think the original had a top-down perspective camera for Grand Theft Auto 3 only. I think they went away with the top-down camera with Vice City, but yeah. Unfortunately, they weren't faithful for Grand Theft Auto 3. They didn't have the top-down camera that was in the original for this, I don't think. But you only get this free. I think even on foot and in vehicles as well, there was a top-down option, but that's no longer the case with the Definitive Edition. Which is super unfortunate, but yeah. And I forgot I meant to save again, so I could, change the time. yeah, I've been over in here again to advance time again for that particular mission timer. Gee. Alright, that's still not solid, nice. I think some of the like trees over here wasn't solid in the original, but they are solid in the definitive edition now, which is a pretty nice change. But yeah, like I said, you should definitely save before Mike slaps lips or whatever. Because yeah, this mission has a challenge where you have to get a vehicle delivered without a scratch on the first attempt. And yeah, there's a mission replay like feature in this game where it will actually checkpoint you at the beginning of the mission, so you don't have to like keep reloading the save and going back.
A moment, sweetheart. I got a little business to take care of.
And yeah, cool little crouton, like cool little crouton 9000 like Easter egg reference there. I think the Crouton 9000 is actually supposed to reference like the Commodore 64 or like whatever like that computer kind of like system is back in those days or whatever. No, he's actually trying to explain it, someone would know it better obviously than I would, but yeah. Cool little Easter egg, I think, to like the Commodore 64 or some shit. Which I think is like something like computer kind of system. Before like PC gaming or whatever was kind of a huge thing or something, I suppose. I don't know, something like that. Yeah, I think Michael Lips is just a minor character, I believe, so there's not really much to explain with Michael Lips as far as I'm aware. But yeah, this mission essentially introduces you to the 8-ball like bomb shop kind of thing. And yeah, that 8-ball character from the beginning runs a bomb shop, for those who don't know. Oh wow, that's essentially the same thing I was driving earlier. But yeah, to take Pirelli's car to 8-ball's garage near wherever it's in. And yeah, I gotta drive this carefully for that, like, trophy achievement here. So if I drive it slower and stuff than usual, that's wise, because I'm trying to get a trophy achievement here. But yeah, definitely be super careful in this part, especially because the one time I did damage it in the definitive and I actually hit the wall here. So definitely be careful in this area, especially with how compact it is. I think that's definitely kind of the only hard part, is kind of not hitting the wall here, honestly. Because I was kind of able to cruise through the street just fine, but when getting over here, it was kind of harder to not damage it in a sense. Alright, so that's point A to point B. Now to do point B to point A again here, without damaging this vehicle on the first attempt. Which obviously, by saving before the mission, you can just simply reload. Since on first attempt, I'm assuming means you can't use the like checkpoint system to try again, or otherwise that will void the achievement trophy challenge. Alright, should be basically good here. Oh, shoot. Okay, good. Should have it in the bag here now. Alright, this will be good. Nice and spotless, like, shouldn't even notice, apparently. Even though it's probably pretty unrealistic and stuff. Probably noticed pretty easily if someone tampered with it, I don't know. Maybe not, I don't know. Got a scratch gold trophy for the PlayStation systems, PS5 and PS4. Deliver Mike Lip's car without a scratch on first attempt. Nice. And it's after midnight now, so it's actually into November 12th now. But still, I did start this on November 11th, which is fine, obviously. Oh great, I want a level, of course. How exactly did they trace that to me exactly? I don't know, but okay. Like, in that fast of a time span. I don't know, probably noticed I drove the vehicle or something. That's the only realistic way I could think of. Come on, COD, I told you get in. Oh, no, I'm gonna get busted. No. I was about to get busted there, actually. I thought I was gonna actually get busted, not gonna lie. Because COD didn't even respond to my triangle press appeal the first couple times. And again, I'm gonna save here. And again, I'm gonna save here because there's actually another, like, particular mission challenge you have to do for the next mission. And I think after this one, I think there's only, like, 2 more in the whole entire game. I think all the, like, particular mission challenge kind of trophies are all in the, like, Portland Island, and that's it, I believe. By the way, I don't know if the Ferraris were mentioned yet in GTA 3, but yeah. The Ferraris is a pretty interesting gang in this game. I think the Ferraris is like the one gang that actually appears in all of the entire 3D universe. But yeah, apparently the Ferraris appear in all of the different 3D universe games. Starting with Vice City Stories, since that appears first. In Vice City Stories, the Ferraris are apparently the most powerful they ever were. Because the Ferraris are like involved with like Phil Collins and stuff like that, I believe. And yeah. Apparently the like Ferraris, like, they made like a huge attack on like the stadium and stuff like that in Vice City and Vice City Stories. In Vice City, obviously there's Sonny Ferraris, so obviously, you know, they're at the beginning that they're heavily involved in Vice City. Vice City probably has the Ferraris the most between any of the games. San Andreas, they're basically in like the Mafia, like, kind of section with the Las Venturas section of the game. So yeah, and then like Las Venturas, like casino section, San Andreas, with all the casinos and stuff. All the like different free Mafia families in Grand Theft Auto and the Grand Theft Auto free universe are essentially involved with the Las Venturas casinos. Because yeah, I think in the 90s the Mafia apparently was involved with the Las Venturas casinos. They were obviously the real life version, obviously. Liberty City Stories, obviously, Liberty City Stories has a lot of these mafias. A lot of these mafias are in Liberty City, so yeah, Liberty City Stories, no question, has Ferraris as well. And yeah, I think Vice City started the downfall of the Ferraris because of Sonny Ferrari being killed at the end. San Andreas was kind of even more of a downfall for the Ferraris, obviously, because all 3 of the families, I think, had a stake in the casinos, and like CJ ruined it, I think, with the casino heist. Liberty City Stories, I think they kind of owned like Fort Staunton or something like that, or something, in the like Staunton Island. So like I think the fort used to be like a huge area owned by like Ferraris and stuff, but yeah, I think Tony Cipriani ends up like blowing up the like subway and it kind of destroys Fort Staunton. And finally, in 2001, the Ferraris are known as the Ferrari Brothers, I believe. That's how small they are in Grand Theft Auto 3. I think that's basically the whole explanation of the Ferrari family, if I remember. So yeah, they actually appear in like all the different 3D universe Grand Theft Auto games, which is a pretty interesting fun fact. The Ferraris are like the one game that appears in all of the different games. Chunky Ling Chong. And of course my throat's bitch again.
Chunky Lee Chong is pushing Spank for some new gang from Colombia or Colorado or something. I'm not really sure.
Colorado, what the fuck?
Anyway, he's got a noodle stand down in Chinatown.
And yeah, again, I think Chunky Ling Chong is just another minor character like the Mike Lips character. Okay, it looks like there's another piece of ammunition. Hopefully I didn't miss any. I really hope I didn't miss any like pieces of ammunition that the characters provide. Because obviously that'll be helpful for later on in the game, remembering when that's the case. Hope I didn't miss any of that. I think it's only Luigi and then Joey in this mission now. Hope I didn't miss any other like complimentary like pistols or anything. Basically, whenever there's a double icon is when you get given a weapon by another character. That's apparently how it works, I guess. Alright, another complimentary pistol gets us to 90 bullets, apparently. Okay, that's weird. It says 7812 on the thing there, but in the weapon wheel it says 102. Like, what? I'm confused. Again, I don't even really necessarily think you need to actually use a weapon in this mission, believe it or not. Because, yeah. Because, yeah, I'm actually going for another very particular, like, trophy achievement in the game. And that involves, like, using a... You have to rig a car with a bomb in this mission to kill Chunky Lee Chong. Now, there's actually a very particular way you have to do it, I believe. You have to actually take his vehicle over, similar to what you did with Michael Lips's vehicle. Except that one you had to do it for the mission. This one you can just kill Chunky Lee Chong, like, straight up, if you want to make the mission quicker. But yeah, I think he runs into this vehicle right here, just like Perennial over here. And Perennial, I don't really think that one appears outside of the 3D universe. I could be wrong though. Trying to kind of talk about vehicles I can think of. I haven't been talking about every single vehicle. If I think of talking about a vehicle, I will. And this one I don't really think... Well, actually, yeah. This one I don't think you have to worry about damaging the vehicle at all, because I think in the other one if you damage it you have to actually get it resprayed, which obviously can cost a lot of money. And I actually haven't talked about the economy of Grand Theft Auto 3 actually, because it's actually a bit different compared to the rest of the 3D universe. It's actually like 10 times more of everything I feel for GTA 3 than it is for the other games in terms of the money economy in the game. Kind of explain that one a bit I guess later. Trying to think of different topics of discussion worth having here. But yeah, you want to take Chunky Lee Chong's for the like achievement trophy. You need to take his like Perennial over into 8 Ball's bomb shop. Only costs 1,000, which you should have plenty of money right now, obviously, easily. I don't think it matters if he damaged it or not. I think he actually still goes into the vehicle, at least as long as it's minorly damaged and not like majorly damaged though. Oh come on, really? Like I think I damaged like even the hood and he still went in it. And yeah, make sure you arm the bomb as well. Don't forget to arm the bomb. Because I actually almost forgot to arm the bomb the first time. So yeah, definitely make sure you arm the bomb. That's the most important thing, aside for obviously getting it there if you want this achievement trophy. And yeah, that was my previous vehicle, so I know this was where it was at relatively. I'm gonna try it here. On the bomb. And I'm actually just gonna go on foot, I think, over to the character here. And yeah, there's actually characters that do shoot at you, so you might actually want to use a weapon actually, so I might have the pistol out. So I don't get obliterated, hopefully here. Though I want to make sure the character actually goes into the car as well, because if I shoot, then that might kind of ruin it. I don't want to obviously shoot Chucky Lee Chong, I want to make sure he goes in that vehicle. Because I armed it with the bomb, obviously, for the achievement trophy, and that's in the game. And he should get in it, I imagine, in that position. Alright, there he goes. Boom! Silver trophy. Take out Chucky Lee Chong with a car rigged with a bomb. Pretty fun way to do that mission, actually. I've never done it until the trilogy encouraged it, obviously. Uh-oh, no, did I? Shit. No, come on. Oh my... I have 3 health right now, holy shit. This will actually get me the Liberty City Minute trophy, though. As long as I can last a minute, which I should be able to do in a car. So it's actually a good opportunity to get the Liberty City Minute if you have this kind of like health right now, obviously. But even if you don't, it's a super easy trophy. And this one's also tied to the actual game, not the social club. I think all the ones I've been getting today have been tied to the actual game, not the social club. Like I mentioned earlier, for the 15 tied to the social club. But eventually I should get a Liberty City Minute here. And I think if you save, you gain your health back, so don't do that if you're trying to get the Liberty City Minute. Alright, got it. Liberty City Minute. Gold. Survive with less than 10 HP for 1 minute. Super easy, but apparently it's very rare right now. That's kind of crazy. But unfortunately, I didn't get any weaponry from those people, but I have plenty of like pistol ammo and stuff. They probably basically just have pistols anyways. I have like 100 plus rounds for it right now, and don't really necessarily need much more. And I'll probably try to complete as much of the game as I can with a pistol, honestly, so I can try to save as much ammo, like good ammo, that I can later on. Okay, I actually still have free health, apparently. But I think that's the very last, like, particular thing I need to do for a mission in this part. I think the only other ones I have to do very particularly will both also be done in, like, part 2, I think. And once part 2 is over, I don't think I have any of the very particular mission things to do. And from there, I can kind of do them however I want, I think. But there's still 4 missions I want to do for this part of the walkthrough, and for part 1. And yeah. I think when I was like testing, yeah. I've been playing this game kind of since November 10th at like 9 p.m. because it actually unlocked early on PlayStation systems in particular. Because PlayStation systems had like the wrong countdown and stuff, so I actually got to play this game early, like by 10 hours early. Yeah, I actually got to play this game 10 hours early, so I was playing it for like... I played this game for like 5 to 6 hours of Halo for GTA 3, I think it was, and then I played like an hour of Vice City and San Andreas, I think, maybe even less, kind of. So yeah, I played around 8 hours, like, before the game officially launched, which was pretty cool. And yeah, I think I noticed when I actually went to a mission, I actually restored my health, which I think might be a new thing. I don't think the original obviously did that for difficulty reasons and stuff. I might be wrong though, it might have been because of a, like, mission checkpoint or something. But yeah, van heist.
Alright, we're gonna hit the payroll van. It leaves the edge of Chinatown every day. Bullets won't even dent the van's armor, so get a car and ram it off.
Yeah, this mission's kind of the first annoying mission, I would say, in a sense, if you don't do like the strategies I did earlier.
Take over from there. Now, it won't be doing its rounds all day, so don't hang around.
Yeah. It healed my health when I, like, won in the mission there, which I don't know if that was a thing in the original or not. I imagine it wasn't in the original like that, where you actually get your health restored. So I don't know, I feel Grocery Games Worst Drums do kind of dumb down the difficulty there, giving you health when you start the mission. Like, yeah, it was kind of nice for convenience and stuff, but, like, if people forget to, like, get their health up, I feel it should be made more difficult. Maybe that's my opinion, though, I don't know. I feel it was like that for sure for the original. But yeah, this mission you'll accumulate a 1 level and the more damage you do to the group sex van. I think you only get like 2 stardust, so it's not too bad. Maybe a 3 star at worst. But this mission you basically want to ramp into vehicles, whoa. And yeah, as you can see, here's the checkpoint system. I actually didn't have to use it until now, actually. And this obviously was not in the original, it's a like new addition to the definitive edition. 10th anniversary edition, I believe, had it as well, obviously, and obviously the definitive edition being made by the same people, they put it in here as well. Which honestly, it's kind of nice that they have the checkpoint system. I would rather kind of use that than have to reload the game and go back to the checkpoint. That's kind of a huger waste of time. So that's actually something I don't mind, is a checkpoint system. As long as it doesn't checkpoint in like the middle of a mission, and I'm completely cool with it. Because I feel like I said they should retain some difficulty from the original game, like most difficulty from the original game. But also make things more convenient as well, like with the checkpoint system. I don't know who would say with a straight face I want to like go to like the mission marker all over again. Because that's kind of just annoying in a sense. Essentially like you're just going there. Obviously like you would if you were to just reload the save. Except you save that like point A to point B drive essentially. So it's not too bad if a checkpoint's at the beginning, but if a checkpoint's at the middle, then yeah, that's just pampering players to not actually do good in the game, I feel, at that point. So it's not as like dumbed it down, I feel, as like Grand Theft Auto 5's checkpoint system, which is nice, but yeah. Definitely like that they didn't like go completely. I'm glad they didn't overdo on the checkpoint system. It looks like, at least yet so far, it doesn't seem. Probably start doing side hits here if you'll feel doing the back hits is kind of being a bit slow here. And yeah, something that's going to change with this version is that you actually have more vehicle health. I feel the vehicles are pretty fragile, especially in Grand Theft Auto 3. So having more vehicle health is definitely kind of nice. It's not something too game-changing in my opinion, to where it's like super noticeable necessarily. So that's a change I also kind of like. Cause yeah, there's a lot of negative stuff for good reasons with these games that people keep complaining about. There's a lot of negative stuff that is right to complain about, I feel. It's on the day 1 update now, but yeah. Oh. Oh my god. Oh my dumb AI was. AI like fucking like was running into me and I couldn't fucking get in the vehicle there, but like, something like this might be more heavy hitting at least, so that could be good. Oh, that did lots of damage, holy hell. So maybe use like a heavy vehicle like a truck or like a bus or something. Yeah, you can see it only goes to 2 stars here. And yeah, that's the most it goes to. And yeah, you just simply run away, they don't even try to fight back apparently. You know, you literally just ram into the vehicle for the most part, wasn't even like using a weapon even. But yeah, this introduces a police bribe. There's a thing called police bribes in this game that allow you to lose a wanted star per one you pick up. That's not a thing in the HD universe, it's pretty much only a thing in the 3D universe. I think the 2D universe might have it as well, the Grand Theft Auto 1 and like Grand Theft Auto 2. And I think Grand Theft Auto 1 is like episodes, kind of like Grand Theft Auto 4. So yeah, I think the 2D and 3D universe kind of has these like police bribe things, which I'll obviously reduce to one level. And yeah, I think 2 stars are definitely kind of actually hard to lose in the 3D universe, believe it or not, so the police bribes are actually kind of necessary. In these older games, the police bribes are actually kind of necessary if you did not want to like pay the money for like a respray. Or especially in GTA 3, that can be a lot of money, being $1,000. So I feel instead of respraying, obviously just use the police bribe to reduce it to 1 star, and then you can lose it super easily. And also there's multiple police bribe locations, that's just the one that was most convenient for me right there, I feel. And yeah, there's an armor thing up there, I wonder how I could actually get up there, actually. It might require a super tall vehicle. $20,000. But yeah, if you notice with this game, the payouts are generally a lot higher than the other 3D universe payouts, and there's a reason for that. Kind of. Elbro wants to offer you an opportunity. Not Red Dead opportunities, but yeah. Got the payphone in Hepburn Heights. If you want more info. But yeah, not Red Dead opportunities. Those opportunities are kind of not that great necessarily to replay over and over again. Kind of, but yeah.
Benjamin will take your pain away.
But Experience actually almost died on Van Nuys because of the vehicle going on fire there. I think I'm gonna save the game. Every time I almost die, I think I'll definitely save the game. And by the way, on PS5, I don't think they use the like adaptive triggers. Yeah, I don't think they use adaptive triggers on PS5. They didn't really announce that it would. I think the main thing with PS5 and Xbox Series X pretty much is that you can hit that 60 FPS. And then also 4K resolution if you got that 4K TV. Obviously, but yeah. And that's mainly the only changes for the next gen. Aside for like obvious things like fast load times and stuff like that. And yeah. By the way, I didn't explain why I got the digital version. I got a digital version of the game because obviously the physical versions don't release till December 7th. The reason I got the digital version, like, yeah, I prefer physical media. I get physical media whenever I can. But I decided to get the digital versions because, one, I have the original trilogy and that was on the PS4. Obviously, those had to be digital versions, so I was like, I might as well get these digital. And then 2, 2, Rockstar does not actually have a like physical release for the PlayStation 5. They have one for the PlayStation 4, which has a PS4 game case. So yeah, I wanted a PS5 gameplay. I wanted a PS5 like game case, not a PS4 game case. That's why I kind of went with the digital version. Because I was like, I do not want to have to get any more fucking goddamn PS4 game cases. That's gonna be annoying. I imagine you get the upgrade for PlayStation 5 though with the PS4 game case and the physical version if you want that still, obviously. But personally for me, I prefer if a PlayStation 5 game is actually like native, it's in an actual like PS5 case and is on a PS5 game disc. So yeah, personally I did not want a PS4 game case and a PS4 game disc, so I went digital and not physical, because they didn't even have a PS5 version. Gee, what the fuck's that NBC, damn. Alright, Cipriani's Shuffer. And this actually has a Rockstar Games Social Club achievement.
This is Pop's cop, Tony Cipriani.
Yeah, I'm Tony Cipriani.
Take him to Mama's restaurant.
But yeah, Tony Cipriani, I'll kind of explain him. He's kind of obvious if you've played Liberty City Stories, but yeah.
Okay, kid, drive me to the laundry in Chinatown first. I got a bit of business to take care of. Those washerwomen ain't been paying their protection money. And
I think they said that Tony's a capo regime.
Okay.
But yeah, it said like Tony's a capo, and capo, I believe in the mafia, is a capo regime from what I've heard. I don't watch much mafia stuff myself, but yeah, from what I saw from the professional, he said that capo's a capo regime and stuff. So yeah, Tony has a pretty respectable role in the mafia, and you don't know how he gained that role of capo regime if he played Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories. Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories, Tony Cipriani here was actually the main character in Liberty City Stories, which takes place 3 years before Grand Theft Auto 3 here, which is 2001. And yeah, he did a lot of like really helpful stuff for Salvatore in 1998. Therefore became Capo Regime. And yeah, you can actually get Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories on mobile for iOS and Android for those who might not have a PlayStation 2 or a PlayStation Portable. Because they didn't really release the game much outside of PlayStation 2 and PlayStation Portable. It was mainly a PlayStation exclusive like game. And for those who did not have like a PS2, PS Portable like myself, my first like major like non-Nintendo system was a like Xbox 360. Xbox 360 was like my first major online gaming system, I would say. Like that wasn't like a Nintendo system. I was born in like 1999 and stuff, so yeah. Like I had PS2 games, I just never owned a PS2. I would get PS2 games to play on like another family member's PS2. So yeah, I myself never owned a PS2 and I never owned a PSP, so yeah, unfortunately my only like system I have thing that Liberty City Stories for is iOS for iPhone. So yeah, for those who don't have a PS2, PSP, definitely consider getting the like iOS Android version. Like yeah, obviously it's a more limited version, kind of. At the same time, it's a very easy way to play Liberty City Stories if you got the like game storage and stuff like that on your phone. It's a pretty fun game to play. I think Lucid Games actually did a pretty good job on that one. And yeah, Tony Cipriani only appears in Liberty City, so he's only in Liberty City Stories, and then also Grand Theft Auto 3 doesn't really appear. And I don't really think he's mentioned in other GTAs either in the 3D universe. So he's mainly just in Liberty City Stories and Grand Theft Auto 3 for his appearances. Never Mr. Whoopi. So easy to tell with that unique noise it makes. And yeah, it's the Mafia Sentinel here. Pretty cool version of the Sentinel. I think there's the Sentinel Classic in GTA Online, which I think is based on the GTA 3 Sentinel. So yeah, I think the Sentinel Classic in GTA Online is based on the Sentinel in this game, I want to say. Definitely looks familiar to me. So yeah, I think we have the GTA 3 Sentinel in GTA Online, which is super cool.
The Triads think they can mess with me. The Triads with me. Give me something to
So yeah, this particular rendition, not the Mafia one, but the regular version of this Sentinel is in GTA Online, I'm pretty sure. Oh, I didn't explain the money thing still. Oh, there's the Rockstar Social Club one. Got any stories, old man? Which, yeah, obviously the reference there is Liberty City Stories. But actually, speaking of that, there's something I wanted to mention with the, thing here. Grand Theft Auto 3 the Definitive Edition. The reason the red 3 is a thing is because of Liberty City Stories. I guess for the 3 they went with the Liberty City stories theme, which is super cool. It's pretty cool, Easter egg kind of touch they did there. So that's something I actually really like with that's something I really like with the logo design that they did. They incorporated a little bit of Liberty City Stories with it, with that red part of it. I explained that one before, but yeah. And by explaining it before, I mean in the Achievement League trophy. But yeah. By explaining it before, I mean in my trophy achievement video, leak video, whatever. But yeah. To talk about the money thing, I was mentioning how everything's 10 times more in Grand Theft Auto 3 compared to the other Grand Theft Auto 3D Universe games. If you notice, the payouts are actually significantly higher in Grand Theft Auto 3 than the rest. They're basically 10 times more. I'm trying to think of how to explain it, but yeah. The payouts are 10 times more. So you can notice when you go to the pay and spray, it's $1,000, whereas in Vice City, San Andreas, I think even Liberty City stores, and probably Vice City stores as well, it's actually $100. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of inflation in the economy, it seems, for Grand Theft Auto 3 compared to the rest of the 3D universe. Not exactly sure why that's the case, but yeah. Interesting to know with that for sure. And yeah, once you do Cipriani's Chopper, you get Tony's missions. I will not be doing Tony Cipriani's missions though in this part. I'll be saving those for the next part, or part 2. And by the way, I didn't mention, I don't think, but I'm going to cover Grand Theft Auto 3 and Vice City and San Andreas. But yeah, I feel it's the proper way to play the games from their release order. So Grand Theft Auto 3 was 2001, Vice City was 2002, San Andreas was 2004. So that's the exact way that I'll be playing those games for those that might be wondering. If for some reason anyone watches this part or really much of any of it or anything. So yeah, we'll obviously do the walkthrough thing for Vice City and San Andreas as well. I don't want to bounce between 3 games, concentrating on 3 different games, remembering everything for the 100% and stuff. That'd be kind of chaotic. Plus, it's not like Super Mario 3D All-Stars. Super Mario 3D All-Stars was a collection kind of game like this, but it was all 3 games in one game. The way the trilogy works is they're actually separate, I believe. Yeah, the trilogy is actually separate, I believe, for each game, so in order to play Vice City, I would have to close Grand Theft Auto 3, and then to play San Andreas, I would have to close Grand Theft Auto Vice City, for example. So you can't just seamlessly switch between them, unfortunately. Like you can with Super Mario 3D All-Stars, where it's all just in the one game. Which is kind of unfortunate, which it was all one game, so you could kind of stream all 3 of them if you wanted to on the PlayStation systems. Because on PlayStation you can't stream multiple games. With the PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4 streaming, you cannot stream multiple games, so yeah, can't really do that. So I figure I'll do GTA 3 and Vice City and San Andreas. Though for videos, if I do any 3D Universe videos, then I might be doing videos for all 3 games kind of simultaneously. So I wanted to explain there, since I don't think I did, and I'll be pretty much playing all of GTA3, all of Vice City, and then all of San Andreas. Not counting anything I do for videos, though. Oh, okay. Any more secure cars you want cracked, bring them to our garage in the Portland Harbor. But yeah, that same exact garage that you take the secure car into for the Van Heist mission, you can take other secure cars. I think you can take like 10 to 9 other secure cars in that garage, and then you actually get paid for them. The perfect way to do it is to wait until you get the secure car through the like import-export kind of like thing in the game though. Like I know you get a secure car for the import-export thing, so that's when you should do it though. That way you can just do them like non-stop. It's a pretty easy way to get money kind of early on in the game, especially if you manage to get a secure car. Especially if you manage to get a secure car to do like export thing. But yeah, that's skunk in the trunk.
Beautiful. Just beautiful. Alright, just the guy I need to talk to. Alright, there's a car stuffed with a stiff at the cafe near Callahan Point. One of the Forellis thought he was a wise guy, so he got what he had coming to him. Take the corpse to the crusher in Harwood, alright?
But yeah. There might be an achievement and trophy I might want to try to get here actually, by the way. And it involves being run over by a vehicle, I believe. And it's tied to the Rockstar Social Club for this one, I believe. So it's 1 to 15 tied to the Social Club for Grand Theft Auto 3. Between its 44, 29 are for the actual like trophies. And like 15 are through the Social Club. So what I'm actually going to do here is I'm actually going to equip the bat and do that. I feel like I can make it kind of easy to get like ran over and stuff because you can go in like circles and stuff. Ooh. Oh, come on. Oh, gee. It's fun watching them destroy themselves too, kind of, though, as they do this. Every time you get run over, it's essentially 20% health, it seems. Oh, jeez. Oh, damn. But yeah, super easy strategy, get that one. I thought there's a social club achievement to get run over and die by running over or whatever.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Just beautiful.
Maybe you can't do it in a mission checkpoint, maybe you have to do it like in actual free mode to do that, I don't know. Yeah, maybe you have to do that in actual free mode, I don't know. But there's supposed to be an achievement to die by being ran over, I believe, so I guess you can't do that like that. And I don't think I saved before, right? Yeah, nice, yeah, no I didn't, so I'm not gonna bother with that, I'll probably just do that in free mode, honestly. It's probably hard to do in free mode either. There is something I kind of want to show off with this mission, though, because there's kind of a unique vehicle you can get with a corpse inside of it, as the Dead Skunk in the Trunk name implies. Or actually, I'm not going to do it in this part, I'm only doing the next part now. I'm actually not going to do that, that would be really dumb. If I were going to destroy the vehicles, then it would be good to hit the, like one with the bat, to get them going all crazy and stuff. Yeah, take it to the crusher. yeah, this mission introduces the car crusher mechanic, which I think this mechanic in the 3D universe only exists in Grand Theft Auto 3 and in Grand Theft Auto Liberty City stories, because it's only pretty much a Liberty City thing of being able to crush vehicles, I believe. But yeah, I think the car crusher also exists in the 2D universe with Grand Theft Auto and then Grand Theft Auto 2, maybe even like the London, like DLC kind of episode things for Grand Theft Auto 1, I think. Jeez. But yeah, car crushers were mainly a thing in the 2D universe for this series. The 3 and Liberty City stories also did it, but then they pretty much stopped doing the car crusher, I think, after like Vice City stories and onward, I would say. Yeah, from Vice City stories onward, I don't think a car crusher is really a thing in the rest of the series. Unless Chinatown Wars has one or something, but I wouldn't know on that, actually. Because I haven't really played much Chinatown Wars. I've played it a tiny bit, but I always would quit playing it for some reason. Oh, they're actually out of the vehicle, okay. Might try to go for some... Oh, wait, I gotta learn to shoot here. These new shooting mechanics bug. Aw, man, I was waiting for a music pistol. Are you serious? Alright, disposing of the evidence. Crushed a car at the junkyard. Easy clap. Already got 6 of the trophies in the main list, and then also got one of the social club ones, I think. That's 7 out of 44, I think, if you include both of those sections of trophies. But I think there's just one last mission I want to do in this part, and that's the last Joey one here. I think Joey has more missions later on, but at least for this first set of missions, I think this is the last one for the getaway, it seems. Alright, 6 and 14 o'clock particular times. I'll take it as a reason that I like to save the game. But yeah, that very particular mission time there is definitely a nice reason to save the game for sure. So I was wondering if I should save or not. Getaway's not a hard mission though, if I remember, so it should be pretty easy. I haven't saved since Van Heist, which might have been quite a couple missions ago. That way I don't lose the progress if the game decides to save, if I were to, for some reason, die and not want to resume a checkpoint or something. And then auto-saves in that as well, or whatever. Alright, almost 2 hour stream, that's kind of fun. Alright, I forgot. Oh, I gotta save again, of course. Guess I'll take the van one up. The beginning vehicle I choose here won't matter too much because I basically have to manually drive another vehicle in the next mission anyways. I believe this will be the last mission I do for this part of the stream here.
Get some wheels to the safe house at St. Mark's and pick up a few friends of mine. They're hitting the bank and they need a driver. I gave my word that you were the man, so don't screw this up. Get him to the
Boy, Car's a great ass driver, and I don't worry, fool. I'm not driving as good as I might have did on my, like, I might not drive as good as I did on stream. Can't talk for some fucking reason, for some reason. But yeah. Might not drive as good on stream as I do off stream, but yeah. Still, I'm sure content can be fine. Or maybe I do, and maybe I just feel I don't because of having to talk to a microphone on the DualSense. Yeah, maybe I feel I'm not driving as good because of the DualSense control and the microphone. No, I don't know. Don't know indeed. Because usually I don't have to hold my controller literally to my face to talk to it for the entire stream, for example. Alright, sound the horn.
Get to the bank on the main drag.
Bank on the main drag, huh? But unless you do use your vehicle and you're like actually doing a heist on the van, I forget. So yeah, vehicle choice might matter a lot actually. You might need a 4x4 car, obviously, at least.
Keep the engine running. We'll be in and out of time.
Oh shit. Alright, 3-star 1 level, apparently. But you might be able to use bribes to lose it, so that would be good if I could. I can mainly think of one bribe location, I'm not sure about a second one though, and that's the one I already used, obviously. But I've had to reload the game and stuff since, so it should still be there, I think. Or it should be there again, more so. I think there might be one in like Mafia territory, not sure though. I think there might be one in Mafia territory somewhere. Somewhere in here, I want to say it is. Okay, yeah, I think it's here. So, you know, this might not even have to use a paint spray and might save that $1,000. Which I know it's only 1,000, but it's still lots more than That's more than the other 3D Universe games like I mentioned, because of the like 10 times inflation in this game compared to the other ones in the 3D Universe for some reason. Okay, I want to be able to lose it. Alright, okay, there it goes. But in my opinion, just pick up 2 bribes like I showed those 2 locations. Those 2 locations should be pretty easy to get to without the mission going to shit or anything. And that should conclude it here, pretty much. But yeah, that should finally pretty much be it for the stream. I did, I think, 12 to 13 missions in this one playthrough, I want to say, and like, what's it called? In the walkthrough, obviously, for the part 1 of the walkthrough. But yeah, I think that was 13 missions. It should maybe even say in the stats somewhere. Mission attempts 11. Oh, that's 11 missions, okay. Well, I guess there's more listed on GTA Wiki than it really counts. But yeah. Okay. I think the introductory missions don't count towards the 73 here, so I guess if you count the introduction missions, that might be like at least 75 missions in a sense. But yeah. Luigi had 5 missions, and then Joey had 6 for the ones that counts, and then there was obviously the introduction part as well. So yeah, that's a pretty sizable amount, I would say. That's good enough for one part, I'd say, no doubt. But yeah, that is going to be it for the stream. Next stream, I'll be doing the Grand Theft Auto Online Event Week stream. Say a Grand Theft Auto Online Event Week stream for next stream, and that's going to be it for the stream. Hope you enjoyed.